we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion.
Combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado. This is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Rawe.
Sober October. 2 words that rhyme that I'm not looking forward to this time, but it's time to dive into it, man. We've committed to it. This is going to be my 3rd year doing it straight. You know,
we're not doing it tonight though, because
no,
it's the 30th.
This is September 30th, so we are going to enjoy our last few beverages together.
And I didn't want to close it out with a Bud Light. So
he went with the Colorado Native.
Had to get something a little more flavorful.
But it's here, guys. You know, it's here. The challenge is real. Let's do this together. You know, this is what it's about. It's a challenge for a reason. And like me, I drink beer every day. Okay? So this challenge is going to be a challenge for a reason. And it's giving up alcohol. It's not using anything as a crutch. It's being sober. Sober October, right? Mm-hmm. It's easy to fall back on other things. Like, oh, I'm going to smoke a little weed. I'm going to do this or that.
And we were thinking about doing that.
And who knows what's going to happen. All I can tell you is I'm going to give my best shot at this like I have for the last 3 years. I've nailed it for the last 2 years. This will be the 3rd year doing it. I'm going to give it my best shot. And, you know, 2020 has been a fucked up year. All right? So this is not a great time to do sobriety, but it is also a good time to get right with your body. You know, give your body a break. You've been beating it up, guys. You've been sitting at home having a sip. You've been working from home having a sip at 1:30. It's time to clean it up. It's time to clean it up, man. And that's why we're doing Sober October. And I'm going to tell you this, man. While I'm sober, I'm going to be doing things outdoors. And you know who does things great outdoors is Wild Outdoor Adventures.
Yes, absolutely. We love Wild Outdoor Adventures, man. Y'all over there are badass, and we just support everything Wild Outdoor Adventures does. That's WOAMEET.com. That's where you could go, sign up for free, see all the activities they have going on at no charge. A lot of the activities are no charge as well, unless if there's rentals. They have Hope for Teens, Hope for Veterans, entrepreneurial programs.
That's right. These guys are coming at you. It's more than an online outdoor activity community. It really is bringing people together. You know, the weather's cooling down, but you know what? The trails, they're still heating up. And now's the best time to get out there. Go see those leaves. Go see them fall colors. It's free to sign up. Doesn't cost anything but your time. And you're going to meet great people along the way. Like Art mentioned, they have all your bases covered, constantly innovating. Check them out on all social media platforms. They got big things coming in 2021, you know, doing some advertising for businesses, rotating banners, things of that nature, constantly trying to bring people together. That's why we love them, you know, and that's less dreaming and more exploring.
Absolutely. We are also brought to you by Mountain Made CBD. That is the crystal clear CBD to help your inflammation, to help whatever you're looking for to accomplish with CBD. This stuff does so many different things for so many different people, and it's a product that we support here because we both use it, and also it's non-expensive. It's higher milligrams dosage, and it's definitely something that's going to help out through your day-to-day activities.
That's right. That's why we love working with Mountain Made. These guys are constantly ripping, tater chipping, you know, really bringing your best interests in mind, guys. Brand ambassadors, athletes, supporting a lot of different things. Be sure to follow them on social media so you never miss out on anything that's going on over there. Here's the big news, though. Mountain Made CBD just launched the auto pay, auto ship feature. You go in, you put in all your information. It comes to your door. It's like Netflix, guys. You go in, you sign up for that. You can watch any program you want over there every month. It's no different with Mountain Made. Go in and get all your bases met. Your build, boost, recover, puff. Everything you need.
And you're going to get discounts.
You're going to get a discounted rate. You're going to get a discounted rate once you do this auto pay, auto ship feature. It's tremendous, and take advantage of it.
Absolutely. And you know, all the workouts, everybody's going to want to be doing them during Sober October, and they have everything you need, mountainmade.life/workouts. All the different stuff.
Everything you need to be ready for Sober October, to better your life. You know, get that CBD for an activated lifestyle, or regular lifestyle like mine, as I like to say, and be ready to rip tater chip, because we got Sober October coming. And as you can see, we got Jamie in the building, studio owner. He came down here to say hi, and man, you're going to be doing it. You're ready for Sober October.
I'm going to try. Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. And that's what it's all about. It's our last night to celebrate, guys. Evidently, we're going to be doing drinking on air and having some guests bust in, but that's part of it. That's part of the fun of doing podcasting.
I got to say, I've never come. I respect these guys. I've never come downstairs and interrupted anything, but since it's like Sober October, since it's like Sober October, and you know, this is what you know,
the last hoorah.
Yeah, the last hoorah. So I wanted to come say cheers to
Cheers, man.
my brothers.
We love you, man.
Cheers.
We appreciate everything you've done for us.
Didn't
See you coming down right during the ad reads, but I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
I already thought you guys were into an hour.
No.
I want to apologize to the ad guys. No disrespect. But, here we go. Yeah.
Cheers.
Sober October.
Let's go, guys. It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough.
Everyone's gonna be doing this together. And Jamie, we love you, man. Thanks for everything you do, brother. It's gonna take us leaning on each other. Guys, reach out to us. Tell us what you're thinking, how you're feeling through this thing. Maybe you're not going to do it this year, and that's okay. There's a lot going on. In October, even before the pandemic, there was, a lot of people were like, it's too difficult of a month to give up drinking.
I could see that.
But I've always said there's always going to be.
There's always a reason to have a beer. And, it's a challenge for a reason. And I was thinking that I was going to, just because we were brainstorming a lot. So I was thinking just cut out drinking during the week, drink responsibly during the weekend, still smoke a little bit, and just have a healthier lifestyle, and work toward that. And, it's not too much more to ask of myself to just, you got to have the self-control to be able to put it down. And it's almost like, I like doing it for the podcast, but I want to do it for myself too. 'Cause I've come from a dark place with substance abuse, and I've been on, coming out of the tunnel for a long time. I've been seeing the light for a while now. And, sobriety is something that if you can tap into that and start appreciating it more and more, then your life's going to be better, because you're not dependent on outside sources in order to feel good. You'll just feel good. So that's kind of my motivation behind it. And last year, it was easier for me to put down the herb. I had less cravings for marijuana than I did booze. I wanted that beer after work. That was the hardest part, was the booze, not the weed.
Yeah. And, I don't do smoking. I have smoked here and there. So this is my third year doing it now. The first 2 years, it was just strictly giving up booze because I didn't have the weed crutch. Haven't touched that in a long time. But it's rewarding at the end of the month when you get through it, giving up booze, but you have to want to do it, kind of thing. It was like John, when he was on, he was like, why do you have to do it? That's what he said. Why do you have to? Well, nobody really has to do anything, but I like the idea of the challenge. It's one of the longest months of the year. It's a difficult time to do it. And I like giving my body a reason to be sober each year. I've talked about some of the health issues I struggle with. I drink a lot of beer. I typically pop a top, shortly after I get home from work every day. You know how I operate. So for me, it's a good time to sober up for a month and give the body a cleanse at the very least. It does the body some good. The first few days are tough, guys. The first few days are tough for me. If you're a daily drinker, it's going to be a little rough. You don't know what to do.
Hopefully you were easing into it if you drink daily, because, we all know that alcoholism is no joke. And if you're drinking super heavy,
it's going to be.
Then, maybe you start off slow. The first week you do it every other day, and then ease off. Because you don't want to hurt yourself or anything like that.
Exactly, yeah, because you are running a risk of alcohol withdrawals, which could be fatal at times. So we certainly wouldn't want to encourage anything like that. But the fact remains is it's not a pass-fail situation the way I look at it. It's about trying, just see what you can do, consciously. If this is something you want to do, and a lot of you are probably like, fuck these guys, I'm going to drink while we watch this. And remember, this is September 30th we're recording this, so we are having literally our last beverages before November 1st. If it's a conscious decision that you're making, going, well, I want to try and do it with these guys. Don't beat yourself up if you struggle, if you slip. The fact that you're trying to reduce or.
Well, I got to say,
yep.
Last year I did 21 days, so I didn't complete the challenge, but not at one point did I look at myself like a failure, because I came out with a new mindset.
That's true.
But one thing that I now that I'm reflecting, I haven't thought about this really until now, but the new mindset that I gained lasted for maybe a couple months, and then I slowly just got back into the old ways. So I was drinking a little bit less after Sober October last time for a couple months, and then it slowly kicks back in. So it's you gotta, So I was watching this thing on Netflix last night about alcohol, and
Was it The Truth About Alcohol, that documentary?
yeah, the Brits with the
with the British guys. Yep, I've seen that
Yeah.
one. Yep.
It was really good, and you know, a lot of us already know this stuff, but it's, you know, it was out in 2016, I think it released, and they're talking about how cancer is linked to alcohol. Like you're more likely to get cancer if you drink more alcohol, and you know, you just have more health issues, and you know, it's really not that good for us. You know, it truly isn't. So, you know, for longevity, you know, in the 30s now, we're you know, dealing with mortality a little bit more, thinking about that more. You know, it's something that's important to keep in mind, and maybe change for the long run. You know, like I would like to, in 40, like when I'm 40, I could still see me puffing pretty regularly, but I would like to see myself a little more responsible and better shape than I am today.
Yeah.
And just living a healthier lifestyle, eating better, eating more greens.
We're at that age, man. I mean, it's right now we decide what's going to happen 10, 15 years down the road.
Yeah.
And I've drank hard for the last 12 to 15 years. I've boozed really hard. You know, I've done Sober October for the last 2 years, but I'm starting to feel the effects. I've talked about it, my health issues. You know, this is a good thing for me to do. But it can shock the system. You know, you get a little bit anxious. You know, you cut out something you're so used to doing. You're completely changing your routine. You know, not to say I'm a full-fledged alcoholic, but I would say borderline functioning in the sense where...
Well, I mean, if you drink every single day...
Yep.
And you have more than 3 beverages every single night, then that's technically like an alcoholic.
By definition,
I'm technically an alcoholic.
Yep, me too.
Because I'll drink almost every single day, pretty much, and I know I'll have more than 3 any day I drink.
Yeah, it's hard for me to, you know, be one of those guys like I'm only gonna have 2 beers during the game and then call it good. You know, once I get rolling,
you're just getting started on 2.
You're just getting started. You know, I like having a sip. You know, so it's gonna be. Once again, I mean, it's a challenge every year for a reason. It's not meant to be easy. You know, if you're someone that only drinks once a year, twice a year, this isn't a challenge for you. However, you could look at it as, you know, maybe you do, you know, pills or you do weed. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to cut that out for a month. You know, everybody can look at it a little bit differently. I don't think there's any rules necessarily on how this thing should work. It's a month to just give up something that we're, you know, maybe a little bit.
I'm giving up substance other than caffeine. You know, I'm going to take caffeine. I might have an ibuprofen here or there because my ankle is still giving me pain from time to time. And
yeah, I mean, it's what you make it.
You know, but other than that, I'm going to do my very best to say hello to Marley in November.
Yep.
And then, what's a good nickname for booze?
Booze?
Yeah, because like you got Marley for marijuana, like, because I wouldn't want to call it Jim.
Hooch? I mean, they call it hooch.
I wouldn't want to call it Jim because I'm not drinking Jim Beam.
They call it hooch.
Hooch, yeah, and I'll see the hooch in November too.
Yep. And so the past 2 years that I've done this, both in 2018 and 2019, coming out of Sober October, my celebration was going to Dallas, Texas, with my good buddy Jeff, and going to the NASCAR race.
What's up, Jeff?
Yep. What's up, brother? He's doing Sober October too, so let's do this thing, bro. And so for the last 2 years, it's been like, that's the light at the end of the tunnel. I go to Texas that same weekend, like October ends, fly down there and just party hardy.
Yeah.
You know, party hard, NASCAR. You know, that's been the celebration. And every year I go into kind of with the same thing, like, okay, Sober October, I'm giving up the booze. Let me come out of this thing only drinking on podcast nights, which even then is questionable, right? And the weekends, confine it to those 3 things.
You know, it gets you a little loose. You know, you kind of feel a little loose, but I mean, we've had great conversations on here sober.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but the majority of these episodes we've been drinking.
Majority of them we've been drinking, but not necessarily
not getting wasted.
Yeah, no, we're not getting wasted. We're gonna have a few tonight though, for sure, as we celebrate going. The problem is we're dropping this on Sober October day 1.
I know, so
people are looking
like,
at it like, oh, come on, man.
These guys, yeah, you're setting a bad example right now.
Yep.
And we understand that, and that's why we disclosed it, because we're not trying to leave people hanging, you know. And we're still gonna have four episodes in October.
Yeah, we got some stuff coming.
So we're gonna be doing all those sober.
Yep.
All 4 of those.
Sparkling waters, man. That's what I need. Sparkling water. I need the carbonation and consistent can in my hand.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to buy some more. Can I smoke a puff? Because that has like a little bit of THC in it. Does that count? Would that break the? Clint would probably be like, yeah, that breaks the rule. But like, I don't know, man. It's a CBD. It's a CBD joint. You know.
I think I look at look. The puff is to me like a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
You know, it has a trace,
Like
trace
so
small that it's not going to do anything to you. That I think that I will give you a pass on that if you want to do smoking and put that in your lungs.
Yeah, because that would be like a nice, you know, because sometimes like I don't smoke. I did smoke cigarettes at one point in my life, but I don't do that anymore. And there's just something about that, like inhaling non-oxygen.
Right.
It's just like you know, fill your lungs with something. I don't know what it is about that.
You know, I've never been a big smoker of anything. I didn't do cigarettes. I chewed tobacco in my mid-20s, early 20s. I just don't like it. I don't like smoking in my lungs.
Never really got into the chewing tobacco. I did some of the spitless ones for a little bit.
Oh, the like the pouches.
Yeah, I like the pouches where you know you don't have to spit.
Yep.
It doesn't like make you salivate. Like you haven't eaten for 12 hours and you're looking at Salisbury steak.
Salisbury steak.
Yeah. So no, I was talking about salivating. Like you're hungry looking at a steak. Okay. Salivate like that.
I heard Salisbury steak.
I know you must be hungry because that's all he heard was Salisbury steak.
Well, first of all, I like Salisbury steaks.
They're good
if they're prepared right.
Well, any food is horrible if it's prepared wrong.
That's a good point. You're right about that.
You know, like those fucking nuggets we had the other night, spicy nuggets that were all dry.
Yeah, we won't call out the name of the place that served us those, but they were terrible.
Yeah, we won't do that to him right now. But so, are you doing tequila or gin if you had to choose? I hate both of those.
First of all, I was going to say I hate both of those, but pretty easy decision for me. I'm going to go tequila.
Yeah, over gin.
Yeah, just because I'll do a margarita occasionally. The problem is I have GERD and acid reflux, so it really excites the acids.
So what? I mean, it sounds like you're getting a bad margarita, like because you could do a margarita right where it's like good tequila, agave, and like lemon juice or something, and those aren't as bad.
No, but it's the mojito mix. The
mojito mix is like what gets you.
The citrusness that's in all that shit, all that acidity that's in the mixture of it is what gives me the heartburn.
Yeah.
And it doesn't usually sit well. But like anything, if I sip on one, I'll probably be okay. Yeah. Bloody Marys are the same way. That tomato shit burns me up.
Bloody Mary on a weekend, marry me.
A Bloody Mary on a Sunday morning if I'm hungover.
That's good shit.
It's okay. I'll do it on a flight sometimes if I have an early flight to a NASCAR race. But I'm not typically a Bloody Mary drinker. It gives me heartburn.
Yeah, it's like maybe once a month, if even. But so with the tequila, with the margaritas, so I'm picking tequila too, but because gin is just. But tequila doesn't treat me that well.
Pretty bitter, I feel like.
Yeah, tequila doesn't treat me that well, but
no alcohol treats you well.
It does make you feel great. Like tequila is one of those drunks. I mean, one of those buzzes that when you get it, like you feel like a little bit more wily. You know, the agave gets you. But
it's something about it. I don't know. When I drink tequila, if it's going to be a lot of it, like just one's not going to make a big difference. But the last time I was drunk on tequila, typically what happens is I get a little bit red in the face. I want to do dancing, which is not something I do. I'm not good at it. And I get a little bit high pitch.
Yeah.
Is what happens with me on tequila.
You get high pitch. That's funny.
Yeah, if I drink enough of it, not just one.
Yeah. So I'll turn straight red if it's like a lower grade tequila, and also if it's like the margarita mixes suck. Like if it's like over sugary and shit, like I can't do it.
I don't like sweet alcohol. That's the problem I've always run into. Sweet alcohol for me, it every time it's going to give me a headache. It's definitely going to intensify the hangover. And it just doesn't sit well. Like the Smirnoff Ices, the Mike's Hard Lemonades, they taste good in the moment, like maybe a sip, one or two.
Yeah.
But sweet alcohol in general, every time I get really bad headache, and I feel like I dehydrate a lot more.
Yeah.
Do you? You feel the same way, you think?
Well, I mean, I'm working on the third of these, and it's 5.5, and Jamie left the door open when he came down here to surprise us.
Yeah, that was quite a surprise, I will say that.
And I just went down over there to shut it.
Yep.
And I'm already feeling a little out of breath just from that sneak walk I just did. So, it doesn't always make me feel, you feel good, but then you don't feel the greatest. You know, I got some water here on hand too. Like I want to drink water while I drink, and
I'm talking about sweet alcohol, though, Arthur. I'm not drinking sweet alcohol right now. So, like,
oh yeah,
you know, going back to the mixed drinks, the
yeah, all that
twisted
stuff.
teas,
Oh yeah,
all
get
that
it out.
shit.
Mike's hard. Get it out of
Dude,
town.
what I'm saying is the
not trying to
sugary
drink it.
alcohol makes me feel worse than most alcohol makes me feel.
That shit will make me feel super short, out of breath, like I was kind of just saying. Flush in the face, tired, ready to drink water, lay in bed naked with a fan on. Like, that's what I want to do.
Well, I don't want to really picture that. But...
with boxers on.
Okay.
So Kevin got a nice gift. The whole manscaping trimmer.
Oh yeah,
And,
my girlfriend got me a nice birthday gift. Manscaped, great stuff, guys. If you haven't used it or heard of it, I recommend it.
Yeah, it's. I haven't used it. I heard high things, high reviews, but
I gave you a sample. You got the ball
no,
wipe.
but I didn't use the.
You didn't use the
tool.
trimmer, no.
Yeah,
but you can see the quality.
but I got a ball wipe.
Yep,
And so it's basically the crop mop,
that's what it is.
and it's like a refreshing tool for males. And
Yeah, I mean,
I tried it.
It's nice.
It was pretty nice. It was invigorating. I felt kind of brand new afterwards. You know.
Yeah. I'm glad that you enjoyed the manscaping equipment.
I had to try it, man, because you gave me some, and then I hadn't used it in a while, and
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
you kept asking. You said you weren't going to ever give me anything again.
Yeah, I probably won't. I probably won't
No,
give you
because I
anything.
wasn't using it.
Yeah, because you weren't using it.
But now
you
I
did
used
use
it, so now we still got the revolving doorway going.
Yeah,
revolving door.
It seems like we're doing a Manscaped advertisement now, and that's not what we're necessarily doing. But I will say that it's great stuff. It's great stuff, and I was very appreciative that my girlfriend got me that. I use it frequently. They sent me a pair of undies, and I'll tell you this: I don't like the undies so much.
Yeah, it's weird because Kevin showed me his undies while he was wearing them. And
Okay, let's.
I was kind of surprised about that.
Okay, first of all,
He had something to show me in his pants.
wait a
he
minute.
said.
Let's.
He was
before
like,
we
dude, take a look at my underwear.
No. Okay, you're building it up terribly wrong. Okay, because making it sound homoerotic, and it wasn't.
Oh, Kevin.
What
We have a bromance.
we do,
It's
we do.
okay.
But what I'm going to say is the Manscaped underwear do not have a barn door to urinate through,
That's odd.
and so that's what I was demonstrating to you.
Yeah.
Not that I couldn't,
And I believed him, but he insisted that he show me.
Well, you seemed a little bit apprehensive, like, well, why wouldn't that be there? And I was
Yeah,
like, well, look, Arthur, this is
no,
why.
but I get.
But I
that
was
it
still
wasn't-
wearing underwear. You didn't see my twig and berries.
No, I get that, but I believed you that it wasn't around, and I just didn't need to see that, But Kevin insisted on pulling his pants down in front of me. But that's here nor there.
Okay, first of all, I'm not a flasher, so let's get that clear.
Yeah, he
All right,
still
I'm not
he,
doing
he still
flashing.
had cloth covering his twig and berries, as he calls it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's weird that they don't have a Johnson flap.
They don't have a Johnson flap.
So Tommy John's, I had a pair of those, super comfortable, but they're just too thin. Like I'm too rough on clothes, and I just ripped them too quick. And there you go. And the Tommy John's, like most flaps are like this, like you like open them like that, but the Tommy John was like that.
Ooh, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, so it was like a horizontal. If you're listening, it was a horizontal opposed to a vertical opening. And actually, I liked it way more.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's way more comfortable, way easier.
So how does that work? So a horizontal opening, right? Because I mean, I'm used to the vertical where you kind of pull it to the side,
Yeah.
and fish out, your meat.
Yeah,
How does the horizontal work?
So the top layer, so the bottom layer, the top layer goes closer to you, and the bottom layer is out. So you basically just like pull the top layer up and.
Okay, and then gravity does the rest.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
All right,
But
I got that.
that's a cool concept, but to have none of that at all, like you're gonna pee like a 2-year-old.
Yeah, and I don't like peeing like a 2-year-old. But underwear makes a big difference. And my girlfriend also got me the Duluth Trading underwear.
Oh yeah,
Last
I've never had
Christmas?
those, but I've always thought.
Oh, dude, those things are badass.
I'm a pair of thieves guy.
What is that?
Pair of thieves.
Is that a type of underwear?
Yeah, and like undershirts and stuff. I'm rocking them right now. I'm rocking a black pair.
Are you?
But they're kind of like they're not like cotton. They're like more like the satin or like the what is that material where it's like
Probably satin, maybe polyester.
yeah, polyester. Yeah, so it's like that. I prefer that over the cotton.
Really? Cotton gets a little bit warm, I feel like. Cotton also deteriorates quicker. It shrinks quicker.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold up as well. Because I was always, I used to do like the real loose boxers, like the, I can't remember who made them. Just too loose. Everything was flapping in the wind. It was too much. I need a little bit more support. So that's when I went boxer briefs.
Yeah, boxer briefs are the way to go.
Way to go, hands down.
Straight boxers, they're too loose that they end up riding up.
Oh, yeah, they're right up.
wedging.
Yeah, you get them, they get it, all the way up to your belly button. That's too much.
That's how high they go up on you?
Oh, boxer, not the briefs.
Yeah.
Like old school boxers, too much, man. They were, yeah. Yeah, it was too much. It was like trying to catch a fucking squirrel, with too big of a sack.
But wouldn't you have a better chance of catching a squirrel with a big sack? Because, like,
I don't know, man. Those things are pretty, they slither. They get
yeah,
out.
but, I mean, if it's a huge sack, then, like, you're going to have more area to catch the squirrel.
Well, it depends on your method of attack, I feel like.
So what's the best way to catch a squirrel?
Probably a have-a-heart trap would be the best way.
I would use a food trap.
Which is a have-a-heart trap.
Is that what that is?
It's got the two things that cave in, and you put like peanut butter, maybe a little bit of cheddar in the middle.
When you could catch like skunks and other things in there too.
It's a little bit too small for a skunk.
Well, what's the cage thing where they like walk in and the cage closes behind them, sort of thing? There's like only one way in, but then you can't get out.
It's like a have-a-heart trap because it's not. It's a humane way to trap an animal. Like if you're trying to
called have a heart. Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was somebody's last name or something.
I don't think it is, but I don't really know about them. So what I know is I've used them before and they do work.
Have a
They're
heart
small.
trap.
They're like a rectangle shape steel. You got the thing up, and once the animal walks in to the bait, it shuts it, and then you can transport that animal to where it needs to go.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. If you had to pick a last meal, like you knew for some reason, like who knows why, but it's your last meal, what are you gonna pick? My
last meal, and I can eat anything I want.
What would your last meal be?
The very last thing I could ever eat.
Is it gonna be shellfish?
Mm-mm. Well, how quick am I gonna die after I eat it?
Well, I don't.
You don't know?
It's just your last meal.
I don't know if I'm going to do shellfish. I'd probably do, honestly, either a steak or a burger.
Steak or a burger?
Yeah, just because, you can never go wrong with those. I enjoy them so much. They're delicious. You could get wild and be like, well, I want pasta and all this other stuff. But if someone was like, what do you want to eat for your final meal? Put on the spot. That's probably what I would go with. What are you thinking?
Well, it's probably going to be a smorgasbord. Like, I'd like
You're going to do a little bit of charcuterie, you think?
Well, no, because that's cheese and meats. Like, there's more to it than that.
Oh, but there's a lot to it. But you could spread your chips around the table that way.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, so I definitely want mashed potatoes with
those are good
gravy.
Okay.
And
so you're getting detailed now.
Some like, carrots that are, cooked in butter a little bit. Like, you cook them in butter and, like, kind of soften them up. With some corn. And then for the meat, gosh, there's a good pork chop, one of my favorite meats out there. Like,
pork chop's good.
I don't know, man. But it's going to be one of those kind of meals where it's like, I got a little bit of everything. I got a little salad, and everything is just really delicious and fresh.
I'm changing my answer. My last meal is Mom's meatloaf.
I'm
due for one of your meatloafs, Mom.
Oh, now does your mama make it like my mama did with, like, a little bit of brown sugar on top and, like, ketchup, and you bake it with that?
It's been a little bit different each time, I feel like, because every birthday I would always request meatloaf from Mom.
Yeah.
We haven't done that in a little bit, I don't think. But there's something about Mom's meatloaf that's delicious. It's been prepared a couple different ways. She'll do like 50% pork, 50% beef, sometimes a little bit fattier. Sometimes there's things incorporated in it. There's peppers, corn.
Meatloaf is so good.
It's simple, and it's delicious. And what goes great with meatloaf is obviously, like you mentioned, the mashed potatoes. That's what made me change my answer. Because you could do mashed potatoes with a steak or a burger, but mashed potatoes with meatloaf? But what's the veggie, though? I'm going either asparagus or broccoli with it.
Oh, see, but isn't the potatoes a veggie, technically?
Yeah, I guess technically it is. But you got it like a green veggie to go with.
I would like carrots, corn, and a side salad.
Side salad for sure. What's the dressing?
Oh, balsamic or Italian. Always.
What about Caesar?
No.
What do you mean no?
I'm not doing Caesar. That's for when I was in high school and didn't know how to eat a salad.
Okay, first of all, a Caesar salad is delicious.
Yeah, they're good, but that was like, the only salad I ate until I realized what other salads were there to have.
Okay, so I will say that probably my favorite salad is not a Caesar salad. It's going to be an Italian vinaigrette, something along those lines.
Okay, well, what about the Caesar then?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. My girlfriend makes the best salads I've ever had.
Okay.
She dices up the veggies real nice. There's fresh mozzarella on there, shaved mozzarella, typically croutons. It's fucking delicious. But a Caesar salad, dude, come on. Especially with
Caesar salads are good.
Bomb.
But the only thing is, like, you know, I feel like with Caesar salads, people get a little bit too happy with the dressing. Like, they're like, oh, it's a Caesar.
Yeah, but that's your choice.
Well,
you put as much as little or as much as you want on. If you want to drown that thing where all you're eating is dressing,
no.
I mean, that's too much for me.
It's too much. I just like a light dash of the dressing. Like, when I go get a large salad from Anthony's, they give you 2 of the things with the dressing. And I use one, and it's plenty. Like, you don't need both.
I mean, no, you don't need both.
No, you don't.
Do you do Papa John's or like pizza places that do those dipping sauces?
Yeah, yeah. Papa John's pretty good.
Do you like that rich
the garlic sauce,
garlic butter?
It's good in moderation. Like,
I feel like every time I eat that, it's pure salt water.
Like you got to dunk it and then like kind of shake it off, and then you eat it. But yeah, after that meal, you want to chug some water because you're high on the sodium for sure.
It'll draw the moisture out of you. It'll draw the moisture out. I'll tell you this, man. Did you watch those debates last night?
You know, I saw the tail end of them. I didn't watch the entire thing. I probably saw the last 30 minutes. And
we said that plural. Did you watch the debate last night?
Yeah, and there's more to come, unfortunately. And meanwhile, the world is just looking at America like, God, these are the options. Like, we can't even have like high schoolers debate better.
Okay, so here's what we need to address with the debate, because I said this for the last 20 years that I've been doing politics, watching politics. Every debate I've watched, I've always been really frustrated. I've always said the same thing every debate. Look, if they have a 2-minute uninterrupted, time frame, because going into every debate, it always sounds good. Okay, here's the segments. We're going to hit on these 5-6 topics. The questions will be about. You'll have 2 minutes uninterrupted, and then it transitions to open discussion. You're like, perfect. That's a great,
if
debate
people follow the rules
format. They're not following the rules. So the CDP or the CPD,
I have no idea.
Whatever
that's the first time.
The presidential debate, people that organize all this, whatever they're called, basically said today, look, after that, we have to enforce more tools. And they're going to do exactly what I've been saying. Cut off the mics. Well, I don't know what they're going to do, but this is what they need to do.
Mute the mic.
Mute the mic. If it's your turn, right, you're talking.
It wouldn't be that hard to mute the mic.
I mean, I can do it from the board.
Like, you can mute
You're
mic
muted
right now.
If it's 2 minutes uninterrupted, the other person's muted. That's the way I see it. Shut them down.
I agree with
those
that.
kind of tools will control the debates a little bit better.
This
thing got a little bit wild, man, and we knew it was going to. We knew it was going to be pure comedy gold and just a couple of old men going at it. And I say this. I said it earlier. I don't feel like anybody won that debate necessarily. I feel like America lost. That's how I felt, because I didn't see a clear picture. We don't do politics on this podcast, and we're not going to get into this.
Yeah, I'm not going to, yeah.
We're not going to talk about our opinions on who we're voting for and all that kind of stuff. But what I'm going to say is this. That is not the way that you lay out your image for America. That's what I'm going to say. It just isn't. There was no substance to it. I feel like 90%...
Attacking people's families and stuff and, like, saying stuff like that.
There was a lot of things that took place that...
It's like, what? This is not Jerry Springer. This is, debating for presidency of the United States of America. Can we both be a little presidential, please?
And that's what and that's what it needs to be. I mean, look, it's supposed to be about policy, about what's going on, but everything is so sensitive, especially this year, that debate, the build up to it, nobody was really surprised the way it was going to go. But I'm going to say this. I feel like 90% of voters going into last night's debate were already made up on who they're voting for, or have already voted in some cases. Did it really move the needle that much one way or the other? Like, who's still undecided? There is probably people that's undecided, but I feel like that 11% that they claim are undecided are people that are the silent majority and or not willing to admit if they're voting for one side or the other.
Yeah. It's either way, we're going to have to keep moving forward regardless of who comes in, and Americans, people around the world, actually, in general, like, we all need to look out for each other, because it's good to have governments in place for, building the roads and having certain systems in order. But if society is full of people that can't see eye to eye, that are constantly battling each other, then it doesn't matter what government is overseeing that, because it's not gonna work. Like if people are like, and that's where there's revolutions and civil wars. So it's like, you know, worldwide, let's look after each other, and let's try to be considerate. Like, we don't have to agree with everybody. I mean, this is a time in America where people are divided more than normal.
Yep.
And I feel like it's been super divided more than I've ever seen the past 4 years. I feel like the last 4 years have been the more divided United States than I've ever seen. And we all got to come together, you know?
It's just tough, man, because everybody wants that, I feel like, but nobody's willing to give. And that's where it gets tricky, because so many friendships, relationships, social media, as we've talked about so many times, create a lot of platform for people to get upset. Somebody shares something. Somebody says something they don't agree with. Somebody's trying to persuade someone else's opinion. Like, hey, you need to do this. You need to think this way. And then people fly off the rails. You know, we're at a point where the divisiveness is so extreme. And because of social media and all these other things, it's just constantly in our face. And it's blowing up. It's blowing up. And then you get these debates. You got an election coming up. You have a lot of tension. You have civil unrest in this country. It's going to be interesting to see how, and I certainly hope we can unite again as people, let alone a nation, as people.
Well, and how I see the uniting and or coming together is accepting the fact that not everybody has the same opinion, and accepting the fact that that's okay.
And do you think that the overwhelming majority of the population are capable of doing that? I mean, everyone's capable of doing anything, but do you see people that are so far on this side, that side, wherever side, being like, look, you're right, I'm going to meet you halfway?
Well, not even meeting halfway, but just
or even having respect for,
just understanding, like, hey, your opinion is different than mine. I don't see it the same way you do, but I'm still going to have respect for you, because, you know, we all have the same needs. We all need to eat, have shelter, you know, feel love, you know, use the restroom, stay hygiene. Like, it's really, that's the checklist. Like, all these other things are personal opinions, and everybody has one. And so, like, if people are going to come together, you can't expect everybody to have the same opinion. It's never going to be a hive mind of people. So, like, what is coming together? What is that? I think it's truly just accepting that other people have opinions, and it's right to them, and you don't have to try to sway them. You don't have to disrespect them for that. You know, you can respect them as a living being, you know, and that's coming together to me.
Do you think?
Yeah, because you don't have to. No one's ever going to always agree on everything. That's impossible.
No, you're right. No one's ever going to agree on everything. But I just feel like it's just, we're at a place, man, where it's like, it feels like, okay, pick a side and stand with it. And I'm going to try to change your mind otherwise as to why you need to be on this side, playing for this team, rooting for this, you know, whatever. It's going to be interesting to see how we can come back to, okay, you know, you believe this, I believe that, let's still be pals. Because I think a lot of people are getting away from that, you know, and again, social media has a lot to do with it.
When a lot of it's bots.
You know, the shit that you see is programmed. You know, if you're whatever side you're on, whatever team you play for, if you want to call it that way, as you scroll through your shit, all these personalized Google ads, these Facebook things are going to cater to your needs.
Oh yeah,
you know,
the algorithms do that.
Just me, even me as a gun owner,
to take up more of your time, like that social dilemma.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, like that's what they talk about.
That's what it is.
Is these companies, they want to take your time.
Yep.
Like that's all they want is your time.
And
on that app.
And it's working.
Yeah, so they're going to cater to whatever they can to get you on that app more.
Of course.
And so it's important to be able to, like, fact check your own material. It's important to double check the websites. Like, where is this link for this article? What's the URL? Like, how credible is that website? Like, like do a little extra work, and then that way you might, because how would you feel if you realized that all this propaganda that you're getting fed and believing in, and it's frustrating you, and you're getting worked up, and you're becoming passionate about it, that all that is fluff and BS? Like, would that not frustrate you that somebody tricked you?
Of course.
You know, so it's like, you got, like, people have to take that on themselves, to question their own thought process and question their own information inputs, because if they're not doing that, then they're just a sheep to the social media slave.
Yeah, it's just more sheeple running around, honestly. And depending on who you talk to, it's funny because that opinion can be said a lot of different ways. Some people think you're not seeing my ideas, you're not agreeing with my opinions, you're a sheep, and vice versa. It's like it's so polarized and so polar opposite that at some point people do have to meet in the middle. And I don't know how to do that differently or what people can generally do differently. I mean, like you said, yeah, do your own research, be educated, of course. But if you're so programmed and manipulated with propaganda and scrolling through things, I'm a gun guy, right? Because of that, because of the pages I follow, because of what I do, I am constantly flooded with gun propaganda. Constantly. I mean, I see that more than anything. This is what's going on. Gun sales, this. Your guns are going to get taken away. All this stuff constantly flowing at me. Does it make me think? Yeah, it's impacting me, of course. But I do my own research. I know what's going on. Yeah. I know what to expect. I have an idea of where I stand with things. But
I mean, if like you can't just let things, because the screen is not real. Everything on the internet's not real. It's a man-made creation. The internet is a man-made creation. So it's like you have to take all of it with a grain of salt. And I feel like too many people are too entrusting to their feed. And even though their feed is full of algorithm, clickbaiting, bot posting, emotional string pulling bullshit. That's what it is. And honestly, like if it wasn't for the podcast and like things like, bringing and yeah, social media has done a lot of great things for people, but like in general, it's very destructive for people. And there's a lot of benefits. Like if you run a business with it and things like that, of course that's beneficial. But as an individual private citizen, just sitting there, I mean, I'm guilty of it. Like I'll scroll Reddit unnecessarily for hours in one day, and that's super counterproductive. I don't really get any substance from there. I'm looking at memes, like, and it's honestly just like, what is it doing for me? And I still do it, even though I question it. So it's just, if you have to question stuff, like you can't just
take it at
be
face
the
value.
puppet of what you think may be true.
Right.
Like you have to actually pull the strings and see what's trying to move you.
Well, yeah. And again, like you said, I mean, as you scroll that thing and as you see different things that upset you, 'cause that's the other thing, you could be going about having a great day, things are going well. You hop on social media, you start doing scrolling, and something will pop up that infuriates you. Someone posted something that they believe in, like, here's where I stand on this, and now all of a sudden you lose your shit, you go off the rails, you want to start talking to this person, now you're in an argument, whatever. It's just that added variable, that added layer to majority, I would say, of people's day at some form or another, even if you're not on social, if you're scrolling Google or some form of, a blog, discussion platforms, YouTube, whatever it is, there's so much going on where people can interact. There's too much information and too much interaction, I feel like, to really take it for face value. Too much opinions going in, too much emotion.
Well, so here's the thing too, okay? And we're not going to sit here and rant about social media for the rest of the episode, but there's definitely a lot to talk about here. And causing disruption in other countries can be beneficial to a country that's causing the disruption, right? So let's say, I'm not going to name country names here. I'm just not going to do that, but countries that have ideals that are different than the United States, and different like the different motivations and geopolitical things and all this stuff, they have the capability to speak to all the United States citizens through articles, through posts. And so a lot of the material on there isn't even domestic. It's not even from home. And so all the, like, outside sources are causing disruption by creating our citizens to go against each other, and that creates destabilization, which creates a void. So another country could come in and fill that void in whatever way possible, because destabilization is the goal for these outside sources that aren't in the United States. And a lot of the stuff that's being pumped through there is not from the United States. And so that's something that you want to really be concerned about, because not only is it bad because it's causing tension with you and somebody else, but then it's also destabilizing the country that we live in.
Right. And like anything, it's being aware of it, you know, and it's hard to be aware of it because you don't know. It's happening behind the scenes. You think everything's hunky-dory. It's like the TikTok situation. You know, Homeland Security and everything was looking at like, look, we need to distance ourselves from TikTok and a few other apps, WeChat or whatever those apps were, because they saw it as a national security threat, you know? So the NSA is looking at that like, we need to distance ourselves from that. Because it's true. These apps have access to all of our shit. When you hit allow on your phone to an app, regardless of what it is, allow access to your camera, to your contacts, to this and that and the other.
Your location.
To your location. That added layer now, they know everything about you. You know, they have an idea and they have data. They can collect data on what's going on, you know, let alone being hacked. My cell phone was hacked about 3.5 weeks ago. I haven't told this story yet. And it was fucking crazy, dude. Literally, I was watching someone take over my cell phone. I was sitting there looking at shit started happening. I was getting alerts from Verizon, you know, and I was watching things happen on my phone as if it was a team viewer. And there was an IT guy taking over. Boom, shit was happening. And all of a sudden I had no access to it anymore. And, you know, come to find out, the hacker was able to take my SIM card, replicate it, and put it on another device, a Nokia, which they weren't able to track the location to. But the fact remains, doing shit like that creates portals for people to do things like that. Even if it's on a public Wi-Fi that's untrusted. Your shit is so vulnerable, it's scary.
It's very true, man. Dude, my Chrome is spammed out right now, dude. Like every single day I'll get like over 100 freaking spam things from like, you know, your phone has a virus, click this, or just like, you know, like your social security, like, and I've been getting phone calls all of a sudden this week. I've gotten 3 that say that there's fraudulent information on my social and I need to talk to their representative. And I know that I would get a piece of mailing for that. So I know that's a scam. You know, so I'm not feeding into that, but people are trying to fuck with my shit right now, man.
Yeah.
And so, wait, so what should I do? Like, all this is happening. I haven't taken any measures. You've had your identity stolen. Like, what should I do to protect myself?
Just be aware of what's going on. Constantly monitor your situation. If you see something that's wild, that, you know, there's so many scams out there with taking people's credit card numbers, the car insurance thing. Your car's extended warranty is expiring. Everyone's been getting those calls. You know, you're talking about someone says that your social security number's been compromised.
Yeah, and like that things are going to go on a freeze or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is bullshit.
And basically what that is, it gives them an in for you to give them your social security number.
Yeah.
So that then, you know, in theory, they would steal your identity.
But I wonder why, like, I'm getting targeted all of a sudden. Like,
it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. All it takes is your phone number. At that point, then they're going to start bombarding you with potential spam and, you know, fraudulent things. Email, phone number, that shit is out there on so many different things.
Yeah.
You know, you sign up for something, you put in your phone
dude,
number.
and I've been in sales too. Like, I'm always like, yeah, hit me up on my cell phone.
Exactly.
You know?
So that shit's out there. And I've had the same cell phone number for a long fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
So that shit's out there.
Since I was 18, dude. I've had my cell phone for almost 15 years.
Yep, I've had mine about...
The same number, I mean. Not the same cell phone.
I've had the same number since... Fuck, what year was that? Probably maybe 04, 05?
Yeah.
A long time. A long time. And the fact remains, the information's out there. You know, it's out there. You put in your email, your phone, and you're going to get that shit. And it's these hackers and cyber warfare is a real thing.
They're relentless.
It's a real threat. It's a real threat. I've been through it a couple times this year. My debit card's been compromised, and it really irritates me when it happens because I feel almost...
a little violated.
Yeah. I mean, you feel violated, and it's like, well... What could I have done differently? I'm trying to take my security measures. I got my PIN. I got all this shit. I'm being, you know, attacked. Luckily, the fraudulent department is pretty good at picking up on it. You know, they go, look, we see something's kind of unusual, you know?
So those are the calls that I'm getting. Yeah, something unusual is happening. And like, so...
But if it's a reputable source...
So my brother, he would hit 1, and because it's a computer talking to me. And it's like, hit 1 if you'd like to speak to a representative. He would hit 1 and fuck with them.
Oh yeah, I like doing that.
Yeah, so I just don't have that kind of time during
Yeah.
the day. Like I don't have to. Like if my job was more chill, like, and I had time just to fuck with scammers, I would totally fuck with them. But like, You know, I don't have time to do it. So I've just been kind of like blowing those off and just, you know, hanging up on them and stuff. But I know that like the bar scene has kind of died down a lot. But if you had to choose between darts or shuffleboard,
Oh, that's a good one, man.
which one would you pick?
Man, I love both of those games. They're fun. They're very fun bar games. I would say that I'm not a great dart player, but I can hold my own. I've won enough games in 301 in the bars to where I feel confident playing that game. But I also feel pretty confident playing shuffleboard, depending on my opponent. Mm-hmm. Shuffleboard is one of those things. I mean, like any game, you know, you could have your off nights, you could have some good nights, but the table plays a big factor in what's going on.
How much sand's on it?
How much sand's on it? Is this thing level? A dartboard is pretty universal.
That's true.
You know, as long as it's not spinning and doing weird shit when the darts land.
How often does that happen?
I mean, I've had it happen where I'll throw it and you see it start rotating because, you know, the dartboard wasn't secured properly.
So one of the darts, like, tilted the weight?
No.
So like the dart that was thrown before your dart was tilting the weight?
No, it was the velocity. So the impact of the dart hitting the horsehair cork made it shimmy a little bit.
Yeah, so after you hit it, though.
Yep, after you hit it. So I've had that happen.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, dartboards are a little bit more stable. And around, you know, I played around the world 301. I played all those games. I think that it's a tough one, man, because I like both. But I feel more comfortable with darts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I have a better chance at, you know, understanding what's going on. You know, shuffleboard's great, you know, especially if you're playing teams. You know,
it's a good team game. Yeah.
Team opponent's good. But darts, you know, I'm going trip 20s, man. That's where I'm going with 301.
Oh, I like the darts more too. I mean, way back in the day, I don't know how many reminiscing stories we need to tell on this podcast. Probably a ton, because that's part of the foundation. But yeah, dude, we used to romp darts hard at your place in Quincy Ridge, dude. We would play heavy.
Beautiful.
And honestly, I like throwing darts. I feel cool when I do it. Like I feel like you know, there's a couple things that you can do in your life where you're like, you know, I kind of felt like a badass there. And like when I'm throwing darts, I feel cool.
Do you?
Yeah.
I feel very, like, anytime I'm in a competitive situation, whether it's shuffleboard, darts, pool, whatever it is, I get very...
You would always beat me in billiards, dude. I've
Really?
taken you a couple times, but I swear you have the winning record out of both of us. We were pretty close, but like you definitely have some games on me there.
Yeah, I get very intense with it. Like, it's supposed to be fun. And you're supposed to be enjoying yourself and hanging with your mates. But I get very like, don't talk to me. I'm focused, you know, on what's going on. I get too competitive sometimes, I feel like.
Yeah, and that's why I haven't really been watching the Bronco games this season. I get way too invested in it. Like and then I'll get overly frustrated if they lose. And then if they lose and I watch the whole game and watch them lose the whole time, it'll ruin my day.
Yeah, I know that
So
feeling.
like I haven't been watching the games. Like I still love Go Broncos. I still love the Broncos.
You got to be there for your team, man.
But man, I don't know. You know, I'm trying to just keep it easy.
Well, I'll say this. We play in 2 weeks. Denver's going to be in New England, and it's going to be fun. We might have to try and maybe schedule a plan or be sober. You know, maybe we can drink water, maybe eat nachos.
Oh, yeah, the food.
Yeah, we can do food or do something.
Beverages, some mineral water.
Yeah,
I want to get my minerals.
We could do something like that. But yeah, Denver and New England play here in 2 weeks. Patriots have Kansas City in Kansas City this Sunday. You guys have Thursday night football. So if you guys are watching this on Thursday, you'll see it tonight.
Tonight football.
Yeah, because this will drop on Thursday. And so that's going to be – you guys got the Jets. I mean, I feel like –
Are they good this season?
No, dude. No. The Jets are terrible.
So we're going to be 1-3.
Yep. So I would like
Hopefully.
I'd like to see you guys get a win on the Jets. It is here in Denver, and then you got to make the travel to New England. I'm worried about this game with Kansas City. You guys heard me say it about 4 weeks ago.
KC won their last one, right?
KC's 3-0, man. Yeah. And I said it 3-4. Whenever Chris was on, I called Kansas City's going back to the Super Bowl, and they're probably going to be 15-1, maybe 14-2. And I'm hoping that one of those two losses comes against yours truly this Sunday. I've been really impressed with Cam Newton and his flexibility, his charisma, his leadership with the team has been tremendous. You know, he's taken it.
Yeah.
You know, he's here to play, and that's what I like. He's a team player. He's not making it about himself. I don't give a shit what he does off the football field because people, you know, I don't care how he dresses, the cigars he's smoking.
Yeah, it's about
Don't
the
care.
sport. It's about the sport.
It's about the sport.
Yeah.
What I've seen from Cam Newton has been absolutely phenomenal. And his chemistry is building with Julian Edelman, with Bird, with all of these guys. The line, the communication with Josh McDaniels making the play calls, Cam adjusting. This is a big system to come into after Tom Brady. And I think Cam's doing phenomenal. Bill Belichick praises him. And Bill and his son are doing a great job running this defense. I have a lot of confidence in my New England Patriots. But this is going to be a big test this weekend in Kansas City. I just hope for a good game.
Well, I mean, you always hope for a good game. It's not fun to watch a blowout. It's not fun for the fans. I mean, even if you're part of the winning team and you're just crushing the opponent, like it's like still not that entertaining to watch. Like, it's fun to see a good competitive game. That's why the sport exists, for the competition and like to keep it close. Those are fun to watch. I love watching any football game that's close, dude.
It's
They're
great.
all fun.
As long as your team's not in it, because I'll tell you this,
Yeah,
you
those
know
are the
that
best
feeling,
games.
dude.
Those are the best games.
Like the Denver Tennessee game. The Denver Tennessee game was neck and neck all the way down the wire, and it came down to a field goal. Those games stress me out. If my team is not in it,
Yeah.
if my team is not in it, I love watching.
We
those
lost
games.
that game, didn't we? The Broncos.
You guys lost.
Yeah, the last season pissed me off. We lost at least 4 games by a field goal. Like, I think we lost like 5 or 6 games by a cumulative like 7 points total. I don't know. I forget what it was, but it sucked.
Denver's had some rough luck.
Man, we have, haven't we?
They've had some rough luck for sure, and
So,
you guys are going to need to do something a little bit different with coaching. But
Oh, yeah,
I'm
dude,
going to tell you this.
Oh, we got a word a week?
Word of the week, guys.
Yeah?
We do have a word of the week. We had a couple submissions this week, and we will hopefully try to be able to work all those in over time. So keep sending them in.
Yeah, keep sending them in.
Best way to do it is through social media. You can contact us via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all that stuff. Discussioncombustion.com. Join the discussion over there. Send us an email at discussioncombustion@gmail.com.
Yes.
If you want to submit a word of the week. And this week's word of the week, it's actually 2 words that come together. Is from a longtime listener, Lori,
Lori, huh?
out there in Olathe, Kansas.
Oh, about time you got involved, Lori.
Oh yeah, she's involved. She loves what's going on, and we decided to go with this word of the week, or 2 words
To mean one thing.
Yep.
Okay.
And the word of the week this week, guys, is sexual dimorphism. Okay, and sexual dimorphism is a noun. And I've never really heard of this word. But
Okay, wait, can I make a guess?
yeah, go ahead and make a guess, Arthur.
Okay, so obviously sexual and then dimorphism. So I feel like morphing. So it's like kind of like sex change stuff.
Well, I guess, being that I already know it, I didn't have a guess at it because I saw that, I looked up the definition or whatever. But this word basically it's a noun, falls under the zoology category. So sexual dimorphism is a distinct difference in size or appearance between the sexes of an animal, in addition to the difference between the sexual organs themselves.
Oh, so like a horse.
So, well, not necessarily like a horse. I think just in general, it's a distinct difference in size or appearance between the sexes of an animal, in addition to the difference between the sexual organs themselves.
Huh.
So that is, in theory, what sexual dimorphism in term means.
You smell like cigarettes, Jamie. Oh,
And that-
COVID, man.
And that is the word of the week. Is sexual dimorphism, guys, if you want to do a little bit more research on your own time. And Jamie's back in studio. Welcome back, my friend.
Yeah, welcome in. Here, let me scoot in a little bit. There you go.
This is a wild episode, guys. This is what happens when we do solos, is Jamie.
Are we gonna share seats?
We are sharing a seat.
They're not socially distanced, guys, but we are COVID negative.
Yeah.
Or at least I am. I had a
Mr.
test.
Rawe and I are like, yeah.
Well, it's good to see you, my friend.
It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming in on the set. This is a perfect time for you to come down, honestly. Arthur and I we covered all kinds of stuff tonight, really.
We've been just goofing off as always. We just finished the word of the week.
Word of the week's
I
done.
had one more would you rather. You could get involved in this, Jamie, if you like.
Okay.
Tom and Jerry
Ooh.
or Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
Jamie, take it.
Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
Always.
That's a tough one, dude, honestly, because I love one of the first cartoons I ever got into on Cartoon Network and growing up, in the early 90s staying home watching tunes. Tom and Jerry gave me a lot of entertainment.
Yeah.
Wile E. Coyote, though, and the Roadrunner, classic shit. Classic shit.
Well, but Looney Tunes. Come on. Looney
No,
Tunes.
I didn't do Looney Tunes.
First of all, Looney Tunes.
I didn't do it. I couldn't do Tom and Jerry versus Looney Tunes because there's too much Looney Tunes. Like you have too much there. You have too much there. So it was
Foghorn Leghorn,
Yeah,
bro.
that's who I was thinking.
Too
about,
much
Foghorn.
Looney Tunes.
Dude, Foghorn
I don't
Leghorn
understand what you're
ruled.
saying by too much Looney Tunes.
Because you have Bugs Bunny, you have the whole crew. You have all. So that's why I was very specific. Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote versus
or Tom and Jerry. And keeping it that
Because
simple.
they're both kind of cat and mouse kind of things.
I'm going
Yeah, but
Tom
we're
and
talking
Jerry.
about Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes are classic.
Oh,
Looney Tunes are
dude,
classic.
you can't argue that.
I mean, Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes, and it's classic. I mean,
it's good stuff. It's great stuff. I mean, always will uphold the test of time
I'm
for
going
sure.
Tom and Jerry out of those two, though.
no,
I'm taking
going,
Tom and Jerry.
I'm going with the Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. I'm going with it.
And that's a fair
And the
pick, I feel like.
The Acme. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
The Acme tools and anvils.
Terrific. Yeah. I haven't seen Tom and Jerry or Looney Tunes in a long time, but I was talking to a guy at work today, and he was telling me that South Park is doing the pandemic episode tonight.
Are they?
That is dropping. And South Park, first of all, if you've grown up in the South Park, what's that other one? That Seth MacFarlane does. Not American Family. What is it?
Family Guy?
Yeah, Family Guy.
Yeah.
If you grew up in that era, which I didn't do much Family Guy, I love Seth MacFarlane. I was more of a South Park guy myself. Like, why are people so offended?
I don't know.
Why?
Like, you should expect the show to be offending.
Yeah, I mean, if you grew up watching those kind of programs, doing offensive content weekly, you should already be a little bit numb to it.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. But
I'm surprised this chair holds both us up.
I know. I was just thinking the same thing. Like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'm 240-ish,
are you really?
230, 240-ish.
Hey, man, this chair's got
I'm
some
like
strength.
195-ish.
Yeah, so this thing's holding over 300 pounds right now.
Well,
But
strong.
I did have a honey bun today, so it might be 195. 195.
and we're rocking into Sober October. That's what's about to happen,
Yeah.
guys. This episode will be dropping, obviously, on October 1st. You'll be seeing it pop up. So this is our last night to hang, and have a good time. And Jamie, you've brought a cool aspect to this episode. We always try to keep it a little
professional.
little bit A, B, C, D block, and you're throwing us some curveballs, bro.
I know normally out of the respect for you guys, I would never bother you guys, but
Our listeners love you, by the way.
I know. But since this is like the last night we can like drink, and
Jamie's having fun with it.
I'm having fun.
Cheers,
with
brother.
it, and cheers.
Appreciate
cheers.
you coming down and
Cheers.
being a part of the show.
And
Thanks for leaving me hanging there.
Well, it's cool.
I've always said I'm
Okay.
scoot over. Let me have my moment. I'm just saying. I mean, if these two guys, we've talked about this many times. I'm very proud of you guys. You guys are fucking fantastic.
Thanks, man.
You're
mean,
fantastic. And I never
and,
knew your eyes were so beautiful brown.
really,
Yeah, I've never gotten this close to you.
you have really nice blue eyes.
Thanks.
Yep. And that's how we end.
Thanks for changing that. Because that was a moment right there.
That was nice. That was real nice. It makes me feel warm inside.
We were like connected there for a minute.
I felt the energy, and it made me feel weird.
there was a lot of energy.
It was good energy, though.
No, I just want to say, I mean, if there was something that people need to listen to on a podcast, and and again, I apologize for interrupting your guys' show.
You're good. It's a solo, man. It's the
And-
perfect time to
and-
do it.
Yeah, we don't mind.
I love these guys. This is the greatest podcast ever. I mean, think about it.
Thanks, man.
Look what's going on right now.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. And you never know when you're going to get a drunk, bald, fat, old guy.
It's a first.
This was a first, but it was the
coming
perfect
on,
timing.
Oh wait, well, you guys love your sponsor, so I want to thank you, Crown Royal.
Well, I want to thank you, man, for all you've done for us along the way.
You felt this out.
For
man.
sure.
All right, no.
Don't leave me hanging this time.
The reason that this happens in this house is because we are family, and I'm very proud to have this whole thing happen. Here.
Yeah.
Because everything that we've ever done, how many times have we said,
Something's got to come out of here.
yeah, go back 10 years ago
Yep.
when all of us are doing like the beer pong thing, and you know, how many times do you say, "Oh my God, these guys smoked so many cigarettes," and I went home and I had to wash my clothes, and
Oh, all the time, man.
you know, and look,
Yeah, you stink right now, man.
do I?
Oh, you smell like dirty cigarettes.
I've had 2 cigarettes. That's terrible.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's,
I'm trying to quit. World, I'm trying to quit because Sober October's coming. I'm going to quit cigarettes.
yep.
I'm going to quit the
The whiskey.
Crown Royal. I'm sorry, Crown.
Only for 31 days, though, bro.
Only until Halloween, until we have our Halloween
Party. That's
you know?
that's the agreement.
But you know,
That's fair. That's pretty much the whole month. You know,
yeah. Well, I mean, we're close.
it's like the whole
you
month,
know.
so that's fine.
We're there. We're there, and let's do this thing, man. We're in this together. Like I was telling the listeners when we brought this thing in, it's going to take all
I
of
can't
us.
believe you said I stink.
Well, you smell like cigarettes.
He does cigarette
fair
smoke.
enough.
Yeah, no,
but it's a good.
It's not a bad. It's like it's a cigarette smell. Yeah, so if you don't like that, then it stinks.
Yeah, I mean it's not a great smell. You know,
But,
I don't do
You
smoking.
probably smell good in the morning after your shower. I'd like to think.
Jamie usually smells pretty good. I feel like.
I usually smell pretty good.
Yeah.
And so, what I'm going to say is this, guys. We're going into Sober October. What a perfect way to bring it in with the studio owner, Jamie. We love this guy more than anything.
No,
because-
I love these guys. I'm so proud of these guys. You guys are listening to the great show. I'm sorry I interrupted, but, you know, I was in that mood tonight where I was like, you know what? I usually let these guys do
You
their
do.
thing.
I was surprised it was you. I was like, who the
usually
fuck is coming down
I
these
usually
stairs?
let these guys do their thing, and I was like, you know, I got to go down tonight and just like throw a fucking curveball in what they're doing, and you know, I love you guys. I'm very proud of you
Love you
guys.
too, man.
Thanks, man.
And I've said this a million times. I remember when you guys started this on a cell phone
Yep.
in an apartment. I mean, look at you guys now. I mean, you guys got the professional fucking opening. Look at this thing in behind them. I mean,
Badass.
you know,
doing
dude,
it.
there are more pictures hanging around with these two motherfuckers in my house than my own kids. You know, my
Yeah.
work truck has a sticker of their show on the back window.
Sure
You got a
does.
major supporter here.
Yeah, these guys are badass. You know, and I'm gonna disappear again.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see you in like probably 5.
Okay, I just wanted to make my appearance, and
I'm glad you did, man. This was a perfect time to do it
And-
because you're doing Sober October, and I think it's important for the listener to know that because a lot of people are questioning, are they going to do it?
Who's doing it?
Who's doing it?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you're doing it.
Hopefully, everybody that is in our little group, whoever that group is. Of course, your guys' group is bigger than mine now. You guys are,
No, you're in our group, Jamie.
No.
you guys are all famous.
No,
No,
we're not.
We're not famous.
But
bro.
my girlfriend and I mean, we just had a debate, my girlfriend and I,
Yep.
because she's all in it. I was like, well, okay, yeah, I'm ready, maybe. But we're gonna try it. I made it like, what was it, 6 hours last year?
Yeah. You slept and then woke up and then
You got it this year, bro.
Yeah.
You got the right mindset
Right.
this year.
I went and bought some non-alcoholic beer, and I was like, yeah, this sucks.
Well, and you might have to do that this year and just deal with it.
So you told me as long as we can make it as long as we made last year, or well,
As long as you're making an effort. That's what I always say.
as long as we
If
go
you're trying-
farther than what we did last year. So if I make it like 6.5 hours this year,
No, I'm not going to allow that.
you have
Well,
to, you have
first
to
of
go
all-
a week. Just make it a week.
okay, a week.
Yeah, you could do a week.
You
If
can
you
do-
can't
totally
do
do
a
it.
week, then that's week.
Everybody out there can do
All
it.
right, fellas, I've already been working on it. I've been in bed at like 8:30 every fucking night this
Yep.
week, which I got to say, I slept really well. The first 2 nights, not so good.
Yeah.
You'll get it, man.
That's what happens.
It's just, yeah. It's what you make it.
Arthur, why do you keep moving away? Come on, dude. We've known each other a long time.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on.
I'm
Come
on
on.
this chair with one ass cheek. I got to support half
Dude,
this 240 pounds on this knee.
I got 195, so I mean the chair's working.
It is
So,
working. Thank God.
No. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good to see
I
you.
love
my
you
friend.
guys.
Last day of,
I'm very proud
let's
of
do
these
this
guys.
thing.
Sober October.
Discussion,
cheers.
combustion. You guys fucking rock.
Well, we're gonna keep them.
I'm very proud of these guys. These guys have went like.
Hey, you
where-
know what? You've cheers that same thing like 3 times, and you haven't had any.
Drink your whiskey.
Do you want me to stop?
No, I want you to cheers it.
I know.
You have to drink after you
I'm building
cheers,
you guys
Jamie.
up here. I'm building you guys up here.
We love you, Jamie.
We love you,
This
man.
shit wouldn't be. Everybody knows this wouldn't be possible without Jamie. All right.
No. See,
No.
okay. Say soapbox. Here we go. So it has nothing
Come
to
on, man,
do
get
with
him
it.
off my chair.
It has nothing. Listen, discussion combustion fans, it has nothing to do with me.
That's not true.
These are my brothers, and before any of this shit even happened, we always had a band practice here. There was always something going on here.
Yep.
You know, so you guys just took it to another level. Has nothing to do with me. There was just a space.
I guess. I mean,
guys,
It has nothing to do with me.
And that's the believe and achieve mindset. You know, you got to set your mind to something. You got to do it, and that's why we're doing Sober October. We're all three of us. There's plenty of people across the United States, across the world right now that are setting their minds to sobriety. And even though this is dropping on the 1st, it's the 30th while we're drinking, and this is it for us for 30 days.
It's the last time you're going to see us drink alcohol on November 1st. I'm glad you're doing it with us, Jamie. You know,
all jokes aside, you guys are watching the greatest podcast with the two of the most amazing people that I've ever met.
We love you, brother.
We love you, man.
We love you.
And no disrespect, I didn't mean to interrupt your show.
This is the perfect time to do it. We were just sitting here, you know, shooting the breeze.
Well,
you know?
I got to be honest. I was in the garage. I was like, oh, they ain't got a host, so I'm going down. Normally,
We're glad you did.
Normally, I'm like,
if you guys are just listening, first of all, you need to go over to YouTube, to the Discussion Combustion YouTube channel, so you can see this beautiful man, Jamie Roerick, over here. You've seen him on episodes in the past, but watch him, you know, come on in here and doing a little hugging with Arthur. I'm glad he's over there and not bugging me. But I'm going to say this,
Arthur,
guys.
kiss me right now. That's good.
No.
Come on.
I'll put my cheek on yours.
I mean, it's great. These guys are my family.
That's right.
Seriously, you guys are watching the greatest show. I mean, family discussions, like or not like. I mean, there's no bias.
Nope.
Talk whatever you want to talk.
Any and everybody.
Say whatever you want to say.
Yep.
And I'm going to take this shot of whiskey and I'm going to leave you guys. Do your thing.
We love you, man.
I love you guys. You guys are fucking fantastic. Thanks for, let me do my thing.
We appreciate you doing your thing, man.
Cheers. Love you guys.
Cheers.
We're excited to do this.
Love, man.
Love you.
We're excited to do the Sober October Challenge with you, Jamie. I love you more than anything, brother.
All right. Peace.
We'll see you in a couple.
Combustion.
Hell yeah, brother. Thanks for coming down. We appreciate it, brother.
And that's a hot episode close if I ever seen one.
Sure was, man. Again, you guys have heard us talk about it, numerous times. Jamie does so much for us, so he's having a good time tonight. It was a perfect opportunity being a solo for him to come down and rub shoulders with us and have some fun. And again, if you are just listening, you're missing that out. Go to YouTube and watch that because that's hilarious stuff. And here we go, guys. It's October 1st. Let's do this thing. Let's do it. Let's commit. Let's focus. Don't feel like a failure, guys. Yeah. If you slip up, if you have an accident, if you're like, man, I need to drink today, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. It's okay. The fact that you want to make a change, the fact that you want to do something a little bit different, you want to be better for yourself. That's the mindset I gotta keep telling myself. I'm gonna give up alcohol for 31 days because I drink too much. That's the reality, and that's why it's a challenge. I struggle with it, so I need to give it up. I need to function with it day to day without having a crutch, something to lean on, right?
I'm looking forward to the clarity. I'm looking forward to taking that deep breath without the smoke in my lungs, repairing the damaged cells. I'm looking forward to dropping 10 pounds just from stopping drinking. I guarantee you I lose like 5 to 10 pounds. So it's an exciting thing, and I'm going to believe and achieve it. I'm going to believe and achieve sobriety for personal health, for personal gain, and for a stronger mentality moving forward than I had last year, because I still, months afterwards, it trickled away, and I want to set an expectation for myself and help create a new me to better everyone else around me.
Yep. And that's the name of the game. That's why we're doing this. And that's why you guys are going to join us. No pressure, guys. You want to join us? Beautiful. If not, keep tuning in because we love you guys. Truly the best listeners in podcasting.
Yeah, we love we love our listeners. I look at it more like friends than fan, because
they're friends.
Because we want to talk to you. If you have been a long time listener or you're interested in coming on a podcast, we're just two good old boys here trying to chit chat, and that's all it is an easy breezy conversation.
That's what it is, man. It goes back to the mission statement, to be critical, accepting, and loving of all people, to include any and everybody from all backgrounds. That's the platform that we believe in with this show, and we're going to keep running with that. It truly is about everybody. It doesn't matter what your stature is, how much money you make, what kind of, price tag is on your clothes. It's about sitting down and having conversations with real people and being able to connect. And being able to connect with you guys. The consistent support that you show us is the reason that we continue to do this. We love it. We have tremendous support around us, obviously, as you saw. It's Sober October, guys. We're doing our last celebration.
Like and subscribe. You guys know the deal. Communicate with us. We'll hit you back. And absolutely visit WOAMEET.com and mountainmade.life for help for our sponsorships. And we love you guys, man, as always. It's always a pleasure, and we're ready to battle this next 31 days.
Let's do it together, guys. Let's stay strong. Let's do this thing.
Cheers to being sober.
You and me, Art, we're gonna have to keep each other motivated to do this thing, and you guys too. We're in this together. You know, let's do this together. It's all about you guys. It's about us. It's about whatever. You know, making that change, making that commitment. Let's do this thing. You guys know the spiel. Here we go. It's Sober October. We got a great guest lineup coming your way over the next few weeks. There'll be sober, conversations, but that's okay. We'll be having some sparkling waters. We'll accommodate, we'll adapt and overcome, and that's what we do.
It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be feeling the endorphins from doing push-ups and stuff like that. Maybe I'll do some leg lifts on the set. Either or. Make the rest of your week strong. You have a choice on how the rest of your week goes. You have a choice on how you want to react to things. So keep that in mind. You have a choice forever and always, because we have a conscience. And I'm gonna leave it on that.
Sounds good to me, brother. We'll see you guys back here next week. Another great conversation coming your way. This was a fun one. It's been a long time since we did a solo, man, so it was good to sit down here and chat.
It was good.
Have Jamie come in unexpected. That's a first. That's a first.
I old me in the beginning of doing the podcast, I would have gotten all pissed off, like, yo, what the hell is he doing?
Nope.
But like at this point, I'm like, dude, this is prime.
Yeah,
this is prime material.
Yeah, it is.
You can't plan on prime material happening. Sometimes it just comes.
Sometimes it just happens. You got to roll with the punches.
Sometimes you got to share a seat with prime material.
That's what we got to do, man. And we got so much love and respect for our brothers and everyone around us, and you guys as well, because this is the reason we do this each and every week. You guys are truly the best, and we appreciate it. You know the deal. Like, subscribe.
Episode 70 coming at you next.
Episode
we'll
70
be back
coming
next week.
We'll see you guys then. Be good to yourselves. Stay sober. Reach out if you need a little assistance. We're there for you. And we'll see you guys back here next week.